Yeah, when are we getting new Elden Ring lore videos? When new content drops for the game, and I get remotivated to do stuff for it.
So, how about that Elden Ring DLC, huh? I know some of us, me included, we're not entirely sure it would exist. You know, Sekiro really seemed like it was going to get a DLC, and then it just kind of didn't. And with how big Elden Ring was already, wasn't really sure if it was going to happen. Yeah, it was very successful, but so was Sekiro, and it never got one. However, there always remained one thing that made it really feel like there would be. And that was the cut content. Now, like any FromSoft game, Elden Ring has quite a bit of cut content. There just always seems to be a lot based on how FromSoft does their development for these games. They get to like the last stretch and they realize, yeah, we're not going to be able to put this stuff in the game. It was what happened with Artorias of the Abyss. I'm pretty sure it's what happened with the Old Hunters. And there was some fairly important stuff that didn't make it into Elden Ring. There was Kale's quest line, and most importantly, there was an entire quest line for Mikola that had to do a lot with Saint Trina and the dream world or whatever, the spirit world. Um, and the end result of that, if I recall and understand correctly, was us discovering that while Mikola's physical body is basically dead, it is a husk in the Mogwen Palace, Mikola's soul is traveling around through the dream world, which seems to also be the afterlife, since, you know, death is like the last great sleep, trying to do something. And whenever Mikola interacts with people in that dream world, that's what people end up seeing as Saint Trina. So then there's the explanation for the similarities between the two of them, both of their use of sleep magic. Um, so what I think's going on here in Shadow of the Erd Tree is we have Mikola, who's here on Torrent, very interestingly, of course. Um, it was never stated who Torrent's former master is. You know, when Ronnie gave us the ring, or no, Ronnie didn't give us the ring. When Ronnie gave us the summoning bell, um, she gives that to us because we have Torrent. And so it's like, you have Torrent? Well, Torrent's former master entrusted me with this, so I'm giving it to you. And as you guys can see here, there sure is a lot of spirit stuff around, isn't there? I initially thought that these were Mikola's lilies. I think there may still be a couple. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell. I initially thought they looked like it, which I have a feeling may be intentional. But it would seem no, actually, these are a bunch of gravestones. Speaking of the dead, boy, this thing, it sure is something, isn't it? So naturally, this DLC is called Shadow of the Erd Tree. The shape of the... Oh, there's, interesting. I wonder what that... I wonder if that may connect to anything in particular. There have been some theories about a certain something that was not expanded upon very much in the game. It gets mentioned like twice. And that is Helfen, the land of the dead. Or at least the land of the dead for warriors in the lands between. We know that the land of the dead, Helfen, is supposed to have a lamplight tree that has something similar to Grace, but it's red. And it's supposed to lead people who met their death in battle. It's kind of like Valhalla. Now, the issue here, of course, is that this is not red. But maybe it's supposed to be. And maybe that's kind of the issue here. Kind of a general theme in Elden Ring is that it seems like the Erd Tree and the Golden Order as it is sort of taking over everything. It's that it's sort of consuming all other aspects of life, all other beliefs. It's all just getting absorbed into it. There's not going to be any room for everything else. Everything's being assimilated. Now, the way we understood Helfen, some may have understood it, a theory generally, was that Helfen is supposed to be like this inversion of the Erd Tree, perhaps even shadow of the Erd Tree. And, you know, it was connected to it, but it was still kind of like its own thing. In this case, where you have gold coming down, leaking out of it, and the tree looks like it's dying, you know, it doesn't look good at all. It is likely the case that if this is Helfen, the influence of the Erd Tree is overwhelming it. It's also possible that the way the Golden Order works now is disrupting the Order of Helfen, because people are supposed to be able to die and go to the afterlife, but the Erd Tree's not letting anyone die. It's recycling their souls through it, so they just keep coming back. So maybe it's possible that the lampwood, the lamplight, is withering away and dying because of the way the Erd Tree works. And that's why you have the Grace of Gold that's, like, leaking out of it as if it's some sort of festering wound. That could be the case. Or maybe this will end up being something else entirely. You never know. But given that this DLC is probably going to be basing very heavily off the cut content for Mikola, I'm thinking that it's probably going to have something to do with Helfen. So that is pretty interesting. Now, of course, this is literally the only thing we have to work with right now. We didn't get a trailer or anything. We didn't even get a release date. So DLC is presumably still going to be a bit of a ways out. I'm hoping we get it sometime in the summer. That would be nice. So I guess we're mostly just going to have to wait. You know, when we get more promo stuff, when we, you know, just kind of get more information on what the DLC is going to be about, it's going to be a lot easier to make predictions and theories about it. But in the meantime, my general takeaway is, we're going to be going to the Dream World / Land of the Dead, going after Mikola, perhaps. This does still give us the possibility of the Godwyn fight, because as you know, good old Godwyn is indeed within the roots of the Erd Tree. And that does look pretty deathly to me, so I think we still get our reverse final boss fight with Godwyn. That should be great. Yeah, I guess that's really all I've got to say for this for now. Obviously, we're going to talk about it more in the future as we get more. I'm probably going to do a stream tonight, talking with the people about what they think this DLC is going to be about. Should be a lot of fun. But, you know, with that's pretty much all I got for this video, so, you know, be sure to like, subscribe so you don't miss any more Elden Ring videos. I do indeed have multiple playlists full of Elden Ring stuff, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys around. Take care.